MashaAllah. MashaAllah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri. Wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir la'inir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdulillahi kama huwa ahluh. As-salatu was-salamu ala sayyidina wa nabiyyina wa tabibi qulubina shafi'i dhunubina wa sayyidina wa sayyidil thaqalain jaddil hasan wal husain abil qasim Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ahli baytihi tayyibin at-tahirin al-ma'sumin al-ghurr al-mayamin al-muntajabin al-mukarramin allazina azhaba Allahu anhum ar-rijsa wa tahharahum tathira. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Rahmatullahi ala ahbabihim wa ashabihim wa shi'atihim wa muhibbihim ajma'in. Wa la'natullahi ala a'da'ihim wa qatilihim wa zalimihim min al-an ila qiyami yawmiddin. Amma ba'd. فقد قال الرحمن في كتاب الفرقان وقوله الحق وهو أصدق الصادقين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وما أتاكم الرسول فخذوه وما نهاكم عنه فانتهوا. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إني تارك فيكم الثقلين كتاب الله وعترتي أهل بيتي ما إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As Brother Said announced two things. Number one, the topic that we'll be talking about the companions of Hazrat Abi Abdullah, Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam. And the second, that the time is going to be short tonight since tomorrow is the working day and we don't want to take much of your time. So I'll try my best to conclude within the limited time and I'll try to convey the message. So the reason that we have chosen this topic, the companions of Sayyid al-Shuhada, if you remember, we have already talked about the companions of the Holy Prophet. We have already talked about the companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And we also did compare a little bit with the companions of Sayyid al-Shuhada. The devotion that they had, the loyalty that they had, the companions during the time of the Holy Prophet, during the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and the hardship that they had to face towards their companions. And tonight let's try to analyze the companions that Sayyid al-Shuhada had during that hardship and calamity of Karbala. Even though they were limited, if you try to count the numbers, as many of you know, that the martyrs of Karbala, even though we have different narrations, but the famous one is 72. The number is a little higher, it's not exactly 72, but the 72 is famous and we go by that. There are different narrations, those who got murdered in the land of Karbala on the day of Ashura. Some narration says it's over 100 and 150, but the famous one is 72. So if you try to analyze that how come when Sayyid al-Shuhada left from Medina on the 28th of Rajab, he traveled towards Makkah and he got in Makkah on the 3rd of Sha'ban. Medina was full of the companions of Rasulullah. They knew the relationship between the Holy Prophet and Sayyid al-Shuhada, the grandson of Rasulullah. Those people had already witnessed that when the Holy Prophet was giving sermon through the pulpit in the Holy Mosque and Sayyid al-Shuhada walked through the mosque door, the Holy Prophet stopped the sermon right there, just went there where Sayyid al-Shuhada was, picked him up, came back to the pulpit, and Sayyid al-Shuhada let him have a seat with him, and then had introduced to the public and the companions of Rasulullah and said, Ayyuhan nas, haza Husaynun fa'arifuhu. This is my son Hussein, know him. And then the Holy Prophet talked about the virtues, the attributes, the status of Hazrat Abi Abdullah. So, knowing all that, why people did not leave with him when he left Medina? Why people could not accompany him? And even not from Medina on the way, many of mostly because Islam had already been spread out. A lot of people were converted into Islam already, because 23 years of the service of the Holy Prophet. Many of the people, they left their old religion and they had been converted to Islam. But in 60th Hijrah, when the Holy Prophet's grandson moved from Medina towards Karbala, and then on the way to Makkah, and then different towns that he passed by, many of the Muslims were living there. And it's not that he kept traveling quietly, he didn't say anything, and he just he kept traveling quietly. And the travel back then wasn't a travel that you are traveling by a plane or you're traveling by a bus, so nobody knows what's going on. He had many stops, before he got to Karbala, because if you count 28th of Rajab, he left Medina, and on the 2nd of Muharram, they got into Karbala. So it's almost 6 months, the time that the Sayyid al-Shuhada was on his way between Medina and Karbala, almost 6 months. And that's what, when we recite the Musibah of Hazrat Ali Asghar, Hazrat Ali Asghar, he was just born when Sayyid al-Shuhada left Medina. He was born just in the month of Rajab. So when he got to Karbala, he was 6 months old. So the journey took 6 months for them to get into Karbala. So all that 6 months, let's try to see that only 72 people joined him when he left, and people knew him, why he's going for. And it's not that he was quiet. He kept giving sermons, delivering his speeches, letting people know. And even at the time when the Hajj was being performed, and Sayyid al-Shuhada on the 8th of Zul-Hijjah, when he left Kaaba, he even delivered a sermon, and Hazrat Abul Fazl delivered a sermon. So they made people aware, they let them know that why we are leaving. So why people did not accompany him? Sometimes people, they complain about the people of Kufa that they had written the thousands of letters and they called him and then they did not help him. So people of Kufa, let them leave aside for a little bit. But how about the city of Medina? The city of Medina, that the Holy Prophet lived there for 10 years. He had so many services. People have seen the status of Ahlul Bayt. People have seen the status of the Holy Prophet coming to the door of Ahlul Bayt and reciting, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا, every day for the Fajr prayer. And then letting people know that what is the status of my daughter, what is the status of my grandsons, what is the status of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So it's not that people were not aware, it's not that people didn't know what is the status, but on the way towards Karbala, not too many people that the history talks about, those joined this caravan. The people, they did not. So if 72 people we consider, we take into consideration, and inshallah we'll talk about some of the personalities and their character. So if we think that what was the reason behind why people could not join Sayyid al-Shuhada, what was the main reason behind it? It's not that they were not aware of the status, no, they knew it. Ghadir was there, they knew the status of Amir al-Mu'mineen, they knew the status of the Ahlul Bayt. So they knew that this family is the family of Nabuwwah, they knew that, the respect they have. But still, having said that, nobody, basically just came out and said, Ya Abi Abdullah, we are going to sacrifice our lives for you. Only a handful of people, only the people that you can count, on fingers, those people joined Abi Abdullah. So what is the reason behind that? So if you try to analyze the incident of Karbala, so you come to this conclusion that the main reason that stopped people not to join Sayyid al-Shuhada, that I think, according to my opinion, there was one main reason that not a lot of people joined Sayyid al-Shuhada, and that reason was Hubbud Dunya. Hubbud Dunya. Because they knew that he is going to die. And it's not that he did not declare. Someone asked me a question here the other day that I talked about in a Majlis, and I was asked a question later on, and that question was also related to this topic. That Sayyid al-Shuhada, he didn't start his journey that he's going to die. He was going to live somewhere like Kufa. People of Kufa had invited him, so he was going towards Kufa to live. That is not true. Even though people of Kufa had written him letters, but he knew what is going to happen to him. It's not that he wasn't aware. He was even aware in his childhood. He was aware even when he was a child. The Holy Prophet had told them everything. But then the way they were living, of course, they had to see the current circumstances, the current situation. The day that he left Medina, he even made it clear. Muhammad Hanafiya, he came to Abi Abdullah and he said, Ya Hussain, why are you leaving Medina? And Sayyid al-Shuhada replied to his brother Muhammad Hanafiya, Shah Allah yarani qatila. Allah want to see me die for his religion. And then Muhammad Hanafiya asked him that if you think so, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to see at that status that you give your life, you sacrifice your life for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why are you taking your daughters? Why are you taking your women with you? And Sayyid al-Shuhada replied to Muhammad Hanafiya that day, Shah Allah yarahunna sabaya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to see them made captives for his religion. So it's not that they were not aware what's going to happen. And that was the main reason people did not join him. That was the reason, because wherever he went, he announced, oh people, I'm going to die. He never promised someone that I'm going to Kufa, I'm going to get power, people are going to do bay'at, and then I'll be made caliph, and then I'm going to give you jobs and positions, and I'll make somebody your governor, and I'll make somebody mayor, and I'll do this and that. No. He said, I'm going to die. That's what the main slogan of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Soon he left Medina. He said, I'm going to give my life for the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The reason I'm leaving Medina is my death. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Sha'Allah yarani qatila. Allah want to see me give my life for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when people knew that he is not going to give us, the share in the government, and that's what, when Amir al-Mu'mineen came into power, apparently, many of the big companions, the major companions of, Rasulullah, they came to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Among those, Talha, Zubair, they said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, the first thing when they came, Amir al-Mu'mineen was there and Ammar Yasir was there. So they came, they walked into the mosque, and they said that they talked to Ammar Yasir that we want to talk to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Ammar Yasir went inside and told Ali ibn Abi Talib that Mawla, there are Talha and Zubair outside, they want to see you. So Mawla gave permission. Talha and Zubair walked where Amir al-Mu'mineen was sitting. The first question that Ali ibn Abi Talib asked him, those two visitors, those two guests, those two companions of Rasulullah, Talha and Zubair, that what is the reason? Why do you want to see me? Is this something pertaining to the government? Is this something pertaining to the religion? Is this something pertaining to the official matters? Or it has something to do with me? They said, Ya Ali, it has something to do with you. Nothing official, nothing has to be with the government. It's something between you. So Amir al-Mu'mineen asked Ammar Yasir, turn off this candle, the candle which is on, and turn on my personal candle. Allahu Akbar. Adalat Ali ibn Abi Talib. Justice of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And that's what the author, George Jardab, the Christian author who wrote a book, Sawt al-Adalat al-Insaniya, he said, after I have examined the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, he said, I came to this conclusion that why he got killed. He didn't do anything bad. He didn't harm anybody. He offered all his services for the religion. And he was the best person over earth after Rasulullah. So why he got killed? Christian is saying, George Jardog is saying, He said that I came to this conclusion. Qutila Ali ibn Abi Talib fi shiddati adlih. He said he got killed because he was too severe in his justice. He was too strict in his justice. Look at that. Talha and Zubair came. Maulana Ali said, Ammar Yasir, turn off the candle. Because the candle that is on is being turned on, and the oil that it's consuming is the oil of Baytul Mal. It's the government, and they are here to talk to me personally. Ali ibn Abi Talib cannot talk to them a personal matter when the light of the office is being used. So they looked at that. Talha and Zubair, they looked at that. They looked at each other. They wanted to talk to Amir al-Mu'mineen that, Ya Ali, now since you are in power, so what are you going to give us? Which status you are going to give us? Which designation you are going to give us? How much, more scholarship we are going to get? Because those people, they were thinking that, because Talha and Zubair, they were both relatives. Amir al-Mu'mineen and Zubair, they were both relatives. So Zubair was even thinking that when I'm going to go and see Amir al-Mu'mineen, he's going to give me a much more than I deserve. So when Zubair saw that, when Talha saw that Amir al-Mu'mineen is not even misusing the candle light when he's talking to us a personal matter. They said, Ya Ali, we got our answer. We are not going to ask you anything. We got our answer. So that was Adl Ali ibn Abi Talib. And the same Adl was at the time of Imam Hassan. The same Adl was because all of the A'immah, they bear the same status. So the same Adl during Hussain ibn Ali, people knew that if we join him, if we accompany him, he's not going to give us power. He's not going to give us, some designations and the money and stuff like that. He is announcing it. The one who joins me is going to die. So that was the main reason that not too many people joined him. And the one who joined him, look at them. And that's the reason that Islam does not see numbers. Numbers don't matter. Quality matters. Quality matters. And Quran also talks about that. وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَ عَزِنِ الْحَقِّ وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَ عَزِنِ الْحَقِّ. On the day of judgment, your deeds are going to be weighed, not counted. فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا. Quran says on the day of judgment, we are not going to count how many good deeds and how many bad deeds. No, there's no counting. There's no counting on the day of judgment. It's going to be a scale. Quran talks about that. There's going to be a scale. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'm going to weigh your deeds. I'm not going to count. And that's what sometimes, brothers and sisters, that's the mistake we make. How many prayers we are praying, how many rak'at, how many fairs, how many ziyarah, how many hajj. We go by numbers. Quran says no numbers. I'm going to weigh how much. If your 2 rakat prayer, the rakat are 2, but there's nothing in it. There's no weight in it because you are praying for the sake of praying. There was no sincerity in there. There was no khulus in there. There was no qurbatan ilallah in there. So that 2 rakat is not going to do anything. Allah is going to weigh. Sometimes your deeds are less in numbers, but they have more weight. So, if you come to the battle of Khandaq, when the Holy Prophet said, ضَرْبَةُ عَلِيٍّ يَوْمَ الْخَنْدَقِ أَفْضَلُ مِنْ عِبَادَةِ الثَّقَلَيْنِ. How many zarbat? Just one. ضَرْبَةُ عَلِيٍّ يَوْمَ الْخَنْدَقِ. On the day of Khandaq, just one zarbat. The Holy Prophet didn't talk about all the battles, Badr, Uhud, Hunayn, Khaybar. No. The Holy Prophet did not talk about the worship of Ali ibn Abi Talib, did not talk about all the prayers and the recitation of Quran and 1,000 rakat Amir al-Mu'mineen used to pray in one night. 1,000 rakat. But the Holy Prophet did not even, count all that. And he said, Zarbatu aliyin yawm al-khandaqi afdalu min ibadati sakalain. That the zarbat, that Ali ibn Abi Talib hit Amr ibn Abdewud on the day of Khandaq. If you take a scale, just one zarbat you put on one side, and all the ibadat of Thaqalain, jinnu, ins, all the worships
of all the human being and jinn, you put it on the other side, the Holy Prophet says that one zarbat has more weight than the a'mal of the whole jinn or ins on the other side.
Nare Haidri Ya Ali Salawat.
So what did that mean? It meant that quality matters, quantity does not matter. You know, what is the weight of your amal? How much khulus is in there? Sometimes if you spend $1 for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has more worth than you spend $100,000 just to show off. No, because it's all about inside. It's all about inside. Sometimes if you say just astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh with the depth of your heart just once, and you do many of the prayers just to show up people that I'm a good person, I'm a muttaqi, I'm a better person, that istighfar that you said with the sincerity, with the loyalty of your heart, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept that prayer. So it's no numbers in Islam. Islam sees quantity. And that's what Sayyid al-Shuhada knew it. I don't need no numbers. I don't want the whole people of Medina come with me. I don't want the people, you know, on the way they join me and I can show numbers to people that that's how many I have. He was looking for quality. And that's what he told everyone, that I want those who can sacrifice their lives for me. I want those who are ready to give their life for me. And then he announced and announced and announced. When he was coming towards Karbala, on the way he saw a tent and there was a person in there. Sayyid al-Shuhada just called him and said that that's what my plan is. That's what I'm going to go towards Karbala to give my life, to sacrifice. I need your help. I'm asking you, I'm inviting you to come and join me. So he said that, Yabna Rasulullah, he knew it. He said, Yabna Rasulullah, personally, I'm sorry I can't go. But I can help you. I have this horse that I can give it to you. I have this sword that I can give it to you. You know, I can help you financially, but I cannot come personally. And that's what Sayyid al-Shuhada said that, no, I don't need your horse. I don't need your sword. I need you to join me. And he said, no, I'm sorry, I can't. And the narration says that after the battle of Karbala was done, and he found out that what happened, he regretted that, and he said, oh my God, if I would have joined Sayyid al-Shuhada, and I would have made my life hereafter. All that life, he felt sorry for that I could not join. So Sayyid al-Shuhada knew it, and he kept announcing, what do I need? What kind of people I need? And if you see that the people who joined him, what kind of people they were? You know, it was open announcement. Open announcement. When Sayyid al-Shuhada was making Karbala, when he was preparing Karbala, when he was getting those 72 people, you know, he wanted pure souls. There was no limits in there. He didn't just invite Muslims. He didn't say that I only want Shia to come and join me. He didn't say that I only want Muslims to join me. It was open invitations. And in result of that, people belonging to all backgrounds, they joined Sayyid al-Shuhada. And I'm going to give you examples. Even people from Christians, they joined Sayyid al-Shuhada. And they are martyrs in the land of Karbala. Wahhabi Kalbi, he wasn't Muslim. He wasn't Shia. A young boy. And the narration says that his age was between 17 and 21. A young boy. Recently married. He was married for 19 days. When he heard the message of Sayyid al-Shuhada, he said, Ya Yabna Rasulullah, I'm going to join you. A Christian. Not a Muslim, not a Shia. But when he got the message, and Sayyid al-Shuhada did not ask him that first you convert into Islam and then come and help me. First you become Shia and then come and help me. Look at our lifestyle. You know, let's open up our hearts. Let's invite people. Let's invite all, you know, religions, people from all school of thoughts, people from all backgrounds, and let them have, you know, the ideology that we have. Let them see that what is the message that we are propagating. Sayyid al-Shuhada, it was an open invitation. He invited, Wahhabi Kalbi came, and not just him. the narration says that he was the first martyr among the Christians, and even his mother died, and she was the first female martyr. And then his wife was, there are two narrations, his mother and then his wife also. Because he was accompanying his wife and mother. So there are two narrations that his mother, she also sacrificed her life. And then there's another narration that his wife, soon he got murdered. She went into the battlefield. Sayyid al-Shuhada called her back that jihad is not wajib upon women. But she was there and she said that I do not want you to leave me and go to paradise by yourself. I'm going to join you. So there are two narrations that his mother and his wife, they gave their lives. A Christian. Why? Because Sayyid al-Shuhada looking for purity. He was looking for a pure soul. Zuhair ibn Kain, who was he? He wasn't a Shia. Zuhair ibn Kain was enemy of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Zuhair ibn Kain was enemy of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And he was known as Usmani, the title that he had. He was known as Usmani. And he was also traveling from Makkah towards Karbala. Because Sayyid al-Shuhada, he left Hajj and he was traveling towards Karbala. He had completed Hajj. Zuhair, his wife was also with him, some other companions. And he was well-known personality of the people of Kufa. Well-known personality. He was also traveling, but he was keeping himself distant from the tents of Sayyid al-Shuhada. At one point, when both of them, they settled down, they put tents, the tents of Hazrat Abi Abdullah, and the tent, the Zuhair ibn Kain. Sayyid al-Shuhada sent someone that you go call Zuhair. So he said, no, I don't want to go. Because he knew it. He wasn't, and Sayyid al-Shuhada knew. No, that's why he invited him. He said, go call Zuhair. Somebody went there to call him. He said, no, I don't want to join. After some time, Sayyid al-Shuhada sent someone else. Go call him again. The third time, his wife said, and see, that's what the role of women, how important is that in Islam. Very important role of women. The wife of Muslim ibn Awsija, narration says that when Muslim ibn Awsija left Kufa to help Sayyid al-Shuhada, the wife said that, why are you going by yourself? Take me with you, I'm going to go with you. And she accompanied Muslim ibn Awsija, and she was also made captive. The wife of Habib ibn Madahir, she was the one, even though he was ready, but she was the one who basically encouraged Habib to go towards Karbala. She didn't say that, no, just sit down. No. Similarly, the wife of Zuhair ibn Kain, she was the one, she said, no, Zuhair, if the grandson of Rasulullah is calling you, just go and talk to him, just go and listen. Just see what he says. And then it's up to you. If you accept it, accept it. If you do not accept, just come back. But at least go and talk to him. Zuhair ibn Kain come. And now the narration is quiet. It doesn't say that what happened inside the tent. He came inside the tent. But most of the scholars say that Sayyid al-Shuhada had showed him something. While sitting in the tent, he had showed him his status in paradise. Soon he got out from the tent. He just came and he said, he talked to his wife. He said that I'm going to divorce you. You just go, I'm going to go, give my life for Sayyid al-Shuhada. And she said that, when you were on the wrong path, you kept me with you. Now when you're going for paradise, you're leaving me alone. She said, no, I want to join you too. And some of the companions, they also came. So, brothers and sisters, the point that I'm trying to make, and I'm not going to take much of your time either, the point is that people from all different backgrounds were there with Sayyid al-Shuhada. But who were those people? Those people who had no love of dunya in their hearts. Hubbu dunya ra'su kulli khati'ah. The mother of all the evil is love of dunya. Why Sa'ad became Sa'ad? Why Shimr became Shimr? Why Hasin ibn Namir became Hasin? Why? Because the love of dunya. Sa'ad was looking for the power and rank. They were looking for the prizes. They were looking for all the awards. Dunya, nothing else. So the love of dunya, they made all those people to stand against Sayyid al-Shuhada. But look what the people on this side, Hilal ibn Nafi, and majority of these people who gave their lives, The narration says the majority were old, a 70-year-old. Muslim ibn Awsija wasn't able to walk. And when Habib came to the body of Muslim, when he got murdered, Habib asked him, "Oh Muslim, any will? Anything to say at the last moment? Can I do something for you?" And Muslim ibn Awsija is pointing his fingers to Sayyid al-Shuhada and say that I'm going to give you wasiyat about Aba Abdullah. Take care of this man. Take care of Sayyid al-Shuhada. How devoted those people were. How committed those people were. Because there was no love of dunya in their hearts. You know, all those people, they had love of Ahlul Bayt. If you can please recite a salawat and move up in the front, please. Another loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Another loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Because those people, they were pure souls. There was no love of dunya in their heart. They knew it, they are going to die sooner or later. Where is Yazid today? Where is his power today? Where is Umar Saad today? Where is that power of Ray today? Where is Shimr today? Even the name of Yazid is not there, but the name of Hussein still exists. Nobody talks about Yazid today, but everybody's talking about Hussein ibn Ali. Why? Because the love of dunya was on that side, the love of Allah was on this side. The love of power was on that side, the love of religion was on this side. He was trying to rule over hearts, over heads, and Sayyid al-Shuhada was ruling already over hearts. He had control over hearts. He had his love in the hearts of people. And that's what the Karbala differentiate. 30,000 people on one side, and just 72 on the other side. Those people, the 72 against 72, 30,000, they were drinking, they were eating, they had all the facilities, and people on this side were hungry, thirsty. What the science says? Science says that if you eat and you drink, you stay alive. But if you do not eat, you do not drink, you die. Karbala did something opposite. Karbala said, no. Those who were eating and drinking, they died. And those who were hungry and thirsty are still alive. Those who were drinking water, they died. Those who stayed thirsty, they are still alive. Why? Because their hearts were pure. Their souls were pure. And those people, you know, Rere Hamadani, John, the servant of Hazrat Abu Dhar. On the day of Ashura, Sayyid al-Shuhada said, John, because John was originally servant of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and then Amir al-Mu'mineen gave it to Abu Dhar. And after Abu Dhar died in Rabza in 32nd Hijrah, John came back to Amir al-Mu'mineen, and then Amir al-Mu'mineen gave John to Imam Hassan, and then he was in Karbala. An old man, an African, dark skin, black skin. Sayyid al-Shuhada said, John, you have done a lot for us. You have lived with my father, you have served my brother, you have served me, you have done a lot. I'm going to die, and I set you free. You go. You go. He cried. He said, Yabna Rasulullah, why don't you want me to die for you? Is my color dark? Is my blood dark? You don't want my blood get mixed with your blood? Because I do not smell good, I'm from Africa. Is that the reason that you are setting me free and you want me to go? Sayyid al-Shuhada said, no John, it's not that. That's not the reason. If you want to give your life, you are going to be among the martyrs of Karbala. And when John died, Sayyid al-Shuhada came to the body of John in the battlefield of Karbala, lifted the head of John. Allah, how Kareem was Hussein. How can he? Lifted the head of John, put on his lap, and prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, please make John, his body, a fragrance should come out from his body. And that's what it was. When the John died, a beautiful smell, fragrance was coming out from his body. And Sayyid Shuhada prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make his face bright, because he was thinking that his color is dark. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brightened the face of John. These were pure souls. And let's talk about 3 azans that were heard in the history. 3 azans. Those azans, they made the ladies of Ahlul Bayt cry a lot. 3 azans in the history that nobody can forget them. First azan, it was recited by Bilal in Medina after Holy Prophet. When Bilal had left Medina after the Holy Prophet had departed, but one day he came back to the city of Medina, and the daughter of the Holy Prophet found out that Bilal is back in Medina. She asked Bilal, "Oh Bilal, can you please go and say Azan, because it's going to remind me the time of my father." Azan Bilal came into the mosque and said, "Allahu Akbar." Bilal said Azan, then Bilal said, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah." Azadar, the daughter of Holy Prophet, started crying, and when Bilal said, "Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah," Azadar, Bibi Fatima fainted in her house. Hassan Hussain ran to the mosque. "Oh, Uncle Bilal, please stop Azan." Our mother had fainted. Azadar, that Azan made cry the daughter of Rasulullah. And then the second Azan, the Azan on the 19th of Ramadan, that Ali ibn Abi Talib recited in Kufa. That Azan made Zainab and Bibi Kulsum cry, because they knew this is the last Azan of our father. But Azadaro, let me mention the third Azan. That Azan was recited by Ali al-Akbar in Karbala. The Muazzin of Hussain ibn Ali wasn't Ali Akbar. The regular Muazzin was Hajjaj ibn Masroof. But on the day of Ashura, Sayyid al-Shuhada made some changes. Hajjaj, today is not your day to recite Azan. Let my son Ali Akbar recite Azan. Because Ali Akbar was one of those Ashbahun Nas min Rasulillah Khalkan wa Khulkan wa Mantikan. He used to resemble to the Holy Prophet in Khalq wa Mantik. Ali Anil Akbar said Azan, recited Azan. Azadaru, ladies of Ahlul Bayt, all the women, the children, Aka Hussain, everyone started crying because they knew that Ali Anil Akbar is going to leave us today. Imam Hussain used to say that when I see Ali Akbar, it reminds me of my grandfather. It reminds me whenever I like to do ziyarah of my Jad Rasulullah, I call Ali Akbar. I look at the face of Ali Akbar. And Azadaro, people of Medina used to, when Hazrat Ali Akbar and Maulana Abbas used to walk on the streets of Medina, the people of Medina used to get on the roof to look at those Hazrat Abul Faz and Ali Akbar. Azadar, then Ali Akbar came to his father, "Baba, Baba, now you are saying Hal min Nasiri Yansurna. Oh, Baba, give me permission to die." Azadaro narration says, after the companions were died, all the companions of Hussain ibn Ali were died. The first Hashimi, the first from Ahlul Bayt was Ali ibn al-Akbar. The first martyr from Ahlul Bayt, Bani Hashim, was Ali ibn al-Akbar. Ali Akbar came. Ali Akbar came to Aka Hussain, "Baba, Halli min Ruksa. Baba, can you give me permission to die?" Hazrat Aka Hussain said, "Ali Akbar, go ask your mother permission. Go ask your auntie Zainab." because Hazrat Ali Akbar was grown up by Bibi Zainab. Bibi Zainab had no children earlier, and she came to Imam Hussain, "Oh Hussain, you have this son Ali Akbar. Can I take him home and I can grow him up?" Azadaro, Ali Akbar was raised in the house of Bibi Zainab. Ali Akbar came into the tent to see the last time his mother and to see the last time his auntie Zainab. Azadaro, the narration says that Ali Akbar stayed in the tent many of the time. Ali Akbar was in there. He tried to come outside, but then he was kept inside. Ali Akbar tried to come outside, and Ravi says that I was noticing it, that somebody wants to come outside, but someone holds him back. Someone again holds him back. It took a lot of time for Ali Akbar to come out from the tent. Azadar, soon Ali Akbar came. He was riding the horse. The women of Ahlul Bayt, they surrounded Ali Akbar. They surrounded Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar is one of those murdered Azadaro. All the ladies cried. They did matam after the body was brought from the battlefield to the tent. When someone went to the battlefield, they died. Aka Hussain went there, brought the body. The ladies cried and did matam. But Ali Akbar is one of those. The ladies cried over Ali Akbar. He was alive. The ladies cried twice and did matam twice for Ali Akbar. Even when he was alive, he was on the horse. All the ladies, they came around Ali Akbar. Someone saying, "Wa Muhammada." Some ladies were doing matam, "Wa Aliya." Someone saying, "Wa Hasana." Azadaro, the ladies of Ahlul Bayt, they came close to Ali Akbar. Some lady was kissing Ali Akbar's cheek. Some lady were kissing his chest. Some ladies, they came and started kissing the neck of Ali Akbar. Azadaro, there was a 4-year-old girl. She came close to Ali Akbar. She said, "Oh Ali Akbar, all these ladies, they are high enough. They can kiss you over the chest, Ali Akbar. I can't reach you. If you can please take your foot out. I'm going to kiss your foot, Ali Akbar." Azadaro, it was no one but Sakina. Oh Azadaro, ajrakum min Allah. Ajrakum min Allah. Azadaro, Hussain ibn Ali was there witnessing all that. When Ali Akbar left the ladies of Ahlul Bayt, Ali Akbar was coming towards the battlefield. Somebody behind him called Ali Akbar, "Aliya, Ali Akbar, you're not gonna meet me. Your brother is here, Sajjad, waiting for you. Oh Ali Akbar, you're not going to say farewell." Azadaro, Ali Akbar came. Both of the brothers, Sayyid Sajjad, Ali Akbar, they hugged each other. And the narration said they cried for a longer time. And then Ali Akbar, ajrakum min Allah. Ali Akbar came. Azadar, Ali Akbar came to his father, and Sayyid Shoda said, "Ali Akbar, I know you are going to sacrifice your life. I know you are going to battlefield, but I request you something." Ali Akbar asked, "What is that, Baba? What is the request?" "Oh, Ali Akbar, by the time you get into the battlefield, all that time keep looking behind. Oh, keep looking behind. I want to see your face." Ali Akbar got onto the horse. Ali Akbar started traveling towards the battlefield. And then Ali Akbar noticed somebody was following him on the back. Somebody was right behind him. Ali Akbar stopped and looked behind. It was no one but Hussain ibn Ali. Azadaro, Ali Akbar stopped. Baba, I have already met you already. Baba, why are you coming behind me?" Aga Hussain said, "Ali Akbar, if you would have a young son like you, and if you would have been an old father like me, I am going to ask you, Ali Akbar, how do you give permission to your son?" Azadaro, ajrakum min Allah. Ali Akbar came, Ali Akbar started fighting. Ali Akbar killed many of those zalimeen. At one point, Ali Akbar came back to the point where Aka Hussain was standing. Ali Akbar came, Ya Abata, Ya Abata, Siklul Hadid kad ajhadani, Al-Atashu kad qatalani, Baba, this thirst has killed me, Baba. The weight of these metal, Baba, they have killed me. Ali min shurbat ma'in ila sabil, atakawwa biha al-aada, Baba. Can you give me a sip of water, Baba? Azadaru ajrukum min Allah. Imam Hussain said, Ali Akbar, put your tongue in my mouth. Azadaru idkhil lisanaka fi fiya. Ali Akbar put his tongue in the mouth of Hussain ibn Ali. Soon he put the tongue into killer. Baba, your mouth is more drier than me. Azadaru Aka Hussain said, Ali Akbar, go. Nana Rasul is going to give you Kawthar. Baba Ali is waiting for you over Kawthar. Azadaru Ali Akbar came. Ajrukum min Allah. Ajrukum min Allah. Ali Akbar came, started fighting. And somebody attacked Ali Akbar with the neza, with the spear. It got from the backside. It came out from the front. Now Ali Akbar could not keep himself balanced on the horse. Ali Akbar bore down on the neck of horse, puts his arm in the neck of horse. Now the Zalimeen, they started attacking Ali Akbar. And narrations say, فَقَطَعُوهُ إِرْبًا إِرْبًا. And they came with their sword, they cut him into pieces. أَذَادَارُ قَطَعُوهُ إِرْبًا إِرْبًا. Ali Akbar said salam to his father. Ajrukum min Allah. Ajrukum min Allah. Azadaru Ali Akbar called his father, said salam. But there was a difference between the salam that everyone else had said and the salam that Ali Akbar said. When everybody else came down, they said, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. But when Ali Akbar came down from the heart, Ali Akbar did not say Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Azadaru, you know it, when you say salam, it's mustahab, but it's wajib on the other person to reply. Ali Akbar knew it. My Baba is tired. My Baba is thirsty. Ali Akbar did the otherwise salam. Alayka minni salam ya Abada. There was no wajib reply on the other party. Ali Akbar said, Alayka minni salam ya Abada. Azadaru Ali Akbar came down from the horse. Hussain ibn Ali started running towards Ali Akbar. He took off his imama, started running towards Ali Akbar. He could not see Ali Akbar. He said, Udhuni ya bunayya. Call me Ali Akbar, where are you? I can't see. I can't see you, Ali Akbar. Udhuni. Udhuni ya bunayya. Azadaru Hussain was running towards his father. Hussain was running towards Ali Akbar. My Aka Hussain fell down on the land of Karbala. Hussain ibn Ali barlaushe pisar zadu bezadu rasid. Then Hussain came to the body of Ali Akbar. Azadaru when got there, Hussain ibn Ali lifted the head of Ali Akbar, put in his lap. Narration says Hussain started coming down towards the face of Ali Akbar, coming down and down and down. Waza'a khaddahu wala khaddi. Hussain put his cheek on the cheek of Ali Akbar, looked towards the sky and said, Ala dunya ba'daka lafa ya bunayya. Oh Ali Akbar, Hussain has nothing to live anymore. Hussain has died already, ya Ali ya. Ala la'natullahi ala al-qawmi al-zalimin. Masayalamu alladhina